Hello everyone, and welcome. For some time now, I have been aware that hardly anything is known about Aryan or about me, but we were looking for the opportune and appropriate moment, and in our own individual time, to talk a little about ourselves. For the moment, today I will be the one to take that step, to get a little closer to those who are listening. Yes, to you. Hello. I will write a few points about myself, perhaps the most important or representative ones, so you can get to know me a little better. Within the M45 system, the Pleiades, there is the solar system of Taygeta, among others. Among the planets orbiting this star is Erra, a planet somewhat similar to Earth, although colder. Full of life, full of forests, and in winter a very white and blue landscape, with good layers of snow. At night, the sky is very beautiful. The blue nebula and the light coming from Za'el create a very nice, calm and, as you may imagine, bluish night atmosphere. This is the planet where I used to live. Generally, here one remembers at least one or two past lives to a greater or lesser extent. However, in my case, I don't remember my past life completely, but the memories I harbor make me carry with me a certain nostalgia, and a very strong affection for people I haven't even seen yet in the present incarnation. I have always said that I consider myself odd or different from what you would expect from a Taygetan. However, I am very proud to be one and to have the wonderful people of Tolika with me. I already consider some of them my direct family, and I would care for them with my life. And I do my best to do so. Because of the time I lived there with you, I still have tastes for things on earth that I can enjoy very much. However, I would not like to go back to live on earth again, in all honesty. There are indeed things that can be enjoyed there and even exported off earth, especially when it comes to art and entertainment. You just have to know how to interpret it in your own way and be aware of the agendas that are attached to many of those things, but yes, I have to admit that it has some very interesting things in it. However, I think you don't necessarily have to be down there to enjoy it. And speaking a bit more about myself and living with the people of Tolika, I think I have a problem with the use of tú and usted when speaking in Spanish, both meaning you, but one is more formal than the other. In fact, it's something I've already been told here. I wish I could laugh with this robotic voice when telling things like this. But it's more a problem of measuring or adapting confidence, as I tend to try to be as respectful as possible. I'm not good at expressing my emotions, despite how it may seem. A lot of times those emotions seem non-existent, when they are very, very intense. And that's actually not good for oneself at all. You see, even among us, there are such situations. We are not perfect. The person talking to you is extremely absent-minded, to the point of giving the impression that I don't care about some things. The real reason is that I always have so many things going on in my mind at the same time. A bit of a chaotic mind. I also tend to be insistent or stubborn, but not in the sense of foolishness, or so I hope. I mean to always keep insisting to achieve what I think is really worthwhile. And although I consider myself to be quite strong mentally, I also admit to being quite sensitive to conflict. I tend to be very analytical and careful with my conclusions on pretty much everything, until I can really start to come down on one side, but never ruling out all the others. Especially knowing that it could be all of them at the same time. I need a lot of time to study situations, and by my own means, to defend a position on a particular idea. That often makes some people despair, or not understand that I always keep an open mind that things are not as they seem. On the other hand, I believe that the truth always comes out in the end. Therefore, in contrast, I think that lying is just a self-destructive mechanism to overcome a situation only temporarily, which will end up turning against the one who uses it sooner or later. It is obvious that there are situations for which it is necessary to lie for the greater good, especially being on Earth or even close to it. But even in those situations, I try to tell the truth in some other way if I have that option, and always with a noble goal in mind. The mask to move through the darkness, as I said here a while ago. This brings me to my last point. I tend to always want to act as flawlessly as possible. Cleanly, logically, and as maturely as I can, although we all have our moments. I think one important thing needs to be understood. We are people. Normal people, just like you. Of course, there is a factor of always wanting to be the best version of myself and become someone I can be proud of, but there is also a protection factor. If you always act in a clean and honorable way, no one can ever have real weapons against you to harm you in that way. There are other ways, which open up precisely by being this way, but I tend to think that truth has unimaginable power, as I said before. So, in truth, I also tend to be the best version of myself because of the prudence of developing an impenetrable defense, so that would be the protection factor. I know firsthand that the earth is hard, as well as everything related to it. It never hurts to protect yourself. Maybe this vision of mine will help you. Finally, I could tell you that I always try to face my fears, if I think it will do me good. For example, there is a logical fear based on experience when it comes to opening up to humans. However, today I am taking a step forward, being aware of the risk, and taking it. Although, as Marie says, to whom I am happy to send a big hug from this channel, it is always good to keep a certain level of mystery around yourself, for your own safety. You have to be smart. As Jordan Peterson says, if you are always a cute and harmless bunny, you can only get eaten. I send you a hug, and my thanks for always being here listening. All your support and love reaches us. See you soon. Za'el of Erra.